Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? There's nothing too good for a girl that's so true. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? I bought you a fur coat for Christmas, a diamond ring, a Cadillac car, and everything. Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you?
Greetings, peeps, and welcome to Music World Survey, or I think it's actually World Music Survey, MUS 120W. Before I talk more about myself, let me just say at the outset, this is a brand new course, okay? I've never taught it before, and we've never offered it here at Delta before, so we're going to be learning about these things together, okay? So a little bit about me. You'll find that I'm a pretty laid-back guy. My name is Dr. Tim Hendrickson. You can call me Dr. H. Everybody does. The only thing I insist is you do address me as Dr. Hendrickson or Dr. H. Never by my first name, never Mr. Okay? Old school of me, I know, but that's how I roll. So yeah, it's a brand new course, and we're going to be looking at music through a global lens, right? We're going to be looking at music around the world, continental, from various points, countries, and cultures. We're going to be looking at the cultural influences of music. We're going to be looking at differences in musical styles from nation to nation, region to region. And of course, we're going to be looking at influential composers from these various regions and artists from these various regions. So it's a broad scope that we're going to be looking through, and it's a broad subject. When we talk about world music, obviously there are so many nations and continents, and there's a great deal of rich history involved behind this. So we're going to be learning about this stuff together, and we're going to be looking at various different musical aspects from the standpoint of world music. As far as attendance and grading goes, this is an online course. So there is no physical or virtual meeting time. What does that mean? It means it's on you. You are on your own. It is your responsibility to log in on a regular basis and complete the assignments. If you don't log in, you're not going to be able to complete the assignments, which leads us back to the fact that, yes, you must purchase that online textbook. You cannot complete the course without it. So please, if you have not already done so, get that online text. Attendance is taken through your participation, which means your completion of assignments, your communication with me, your participation in the online discussion topics, and so forth. Okay, that's how we take attendance. I will be sending out periodic emails, and I will ask you to respond with a simple "Got it, Dr. H," and that lets me know, yes, you are involved. Also, I always know when you log on. I can always see when you complete assignments. That also counts towards your attendance in this course. Grading is very simple. Do the work, you make an A. It's that simple, folks. It doesn't get any more complex than that. It's actually very difficult to fail one of my courses. You can do it, but you really got to work at it. So, do the work, make an effort, and you're going to make an A. Having said that, let me just interject here. I grade on effort and participation every bit as much as I do correct answers, good test scores, and so forth, okay? Of course I want you to answer correctly. Of course I want you to provide accurate information. However, I'm just as interested, I shouldn't say more, I'm much as interested in you being engaged in the material and participating in the course. than I am with you just simply rattling off and regurgitating a bunch of facts and dates. I need your participation. I need you to be engaged as much as you can be with an online course. Having said that, let's take this one step further with respect to your participation. Let me give you a piece of advice. Use your time wisely. This is an online course. There's no one breathing down your neck every day. You're not sitting in my classroom with me saying, come on, let's get this done. You're on your own here. It is up to you to log in and see what's due, when it's due, and ultimately to complete the work. So, waiting until the last minute, that's not a good idea, okay? So I'm just telling you now, use your time wisely. If I see that there's a lot of time elapsing and you're not completing assignments, or you're really doing poorly on quizzes and so forth, I will be contacting you and we will be talking about what's going on. So, and if necessary, if we have to have a face-to-face meeting, absolutely, we can do that, or perhaps a virtual meeting set up through Zoom. So, let's talk a little bit about the course structure. Because it is an online course, it's obviously going to be a little different than what you would have in a face-to-face course. There are two sides to our story. There's an e-learning side, and there's an online textbook side. On the e-learning side, this is where you're going to find things like announcements, the course syllabus, the discussion topics, and of course our online textbook link, and descriptions of each of the sections of our course, and the detailed course calendar, which you're going to be taking a look at pretty soon. Then we have the online textbook side. And on the online textbook side, this is where your assignments are, your reading and writing assignments. You can see that the course is laid out with 10 sections, and each of these sections, 10 sections, and then there's classes, and each class ends with a quiz. And then of course we have exams. And your online text is probably going to be the closest representation of what your current grade is. Let me just interject here with respect to your grade. If you are at any time throughout this course, if you're concerned about your grade or you want to know exactly where you're standing and you're not sure, shoot me an email. I'd be happy to discuss that with you. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It might be a little daunting to you at first if you've never had an online course before, or perhaps you've had an online course but you've done so through a different platform such as Blackboard or something like that. But you'll get used to it, and we're going to be looking and learning together. Don't forget, this is a brand new course, so we can use that to our advantage. We're going to take some risks here, and we're going to go out on a limb, and we're going to be looking at a lot of music and a lot of cultural influences from around the world. It should be a lot of fun. Okay, so let's, before we go, let's have a look at our e-learning site and a little bit of our online text. Okay, let's take a look at our e-learning site. And when you initially log on to e-learning, of course, you're going to be brought to the Brightspace or D2L e-learning homepage, which is going to list all of the courses that you're currently enrolled in. If you are currently only enrolled in My Course, this is what you're going to see, just My Course. You click on My Course, MUS 120W, and you'll be brought to a page that looks very much like this. World Music Survey, and here you can see this is our course home. You do see a home button up here in the upper left hand corner. That's going to bring you back to the D2L or e-learning homepage. You see some tabs up here: course home, content, grades, activities, and so forth. You are primarily going to be focusing on the course home and content page, so I wouldn't worry about the others, although you can explore them at your heart's desire. So if we look at our homepage and how it's laid out, you can see that here is going to be where all of the announcements are. Any type of course updates or changes to our course, they're going to be listed here. This is our one of the last announcements that I gave, and you can see here that you have links embedded, such as to the course syllabus, to the detailed course calendar, and to our first discussion topic, introductions. So also all of the announcements are going to be listed in order here. Something I want to interject here to those of you who may be using your phones or a tablet to do your online work, make sure that you always scroll down and see what's underneath, because not all things are listed right on that very first window. So just make sure you scroll down just to see what else is there. Okay, then let's take a look at the Content tab. Because this is a brand new course, things are still sort of experimental, so we're all going to be learning together. But just to show you here, we have some things on our Content tab that these are modules here on the left. And you have the World Music Online Text module, and we'll talk about that in a minute. We have something called a detailed course calendar, and then we have, of course, the course syllabus. If you have not already read the course syllabus, I encourage you to do that. It just sort of talks about our course, gives a brief description and some contact information for myself. But let's take a look first at this detailed course calendar. If we pull that up, we can see here all the stuff that we're going to be covering. And we have here on the right of this calendar, you see a start date column and a due date column. This is just simply showing you when assignments begin and when they come due for the sections, right? So for section 1, you have 4 classes, and you have until September 21st to complete those 4 classes. And again, you have the same deal in the second section, section 2, you have from September 8th until October 5th. And generally, I try to give you between 2 and 3 weeks to complete each section. You'll also notice that the midterm and final exam dates are also listed there. Now, these assignments are found, all of them are found on our online text. We'll get to that in just a moment. But let's talk about that initial discussion topic, because that's one of the only assignments you're going to have that is not found on our online text. And for that, we have to go over to our Activities tab. And when you click on the Activities tab, notice you have a drop-down box, and you want to go to the Discussions. When you click on that, you're brought to this window, and you can see here you have a description of what we want you to do for this first discussion topic. If you click on that link, it's going to bring you to the actual discussion topic, and you have the ability to subscribe or unsubscribe. But before you can post a topic, like for example, before you can post your introduction, you must first subscribe to the topic. Now you can scroll on down here to my introduction, and you can click on that, and that will come up hopefully pretty soon here. There it is. And you can just read that at your leisure. And then if you want to comment on it, you just simply have to make a post, and you are welcome to post to my introduction. But what I like for you to do, and this is what I say in the instructions, is to give a short response to 2 of your classmates. You can count me in that 2 if you wish, but you don't have to respond to mine. You can simply, go with 2 other people's topics, and it looks like many of you already have. And by the way, you can see everyone's introduction here, so it's not just mine or not just yours. You can see everyone's when you get to this point. And let's look at just briefly the Communication tab. If you click on the Communication tab and you click on the class list, you don't need to worry about virtual classroom. We're not going to fool with any of that. You can see who all is in our class, and you have the ability to email an individual, or if you click on this little window right here, you can email everybody at the same time. All you got to do is click on the email icon and email everybody. So might want to be, kind of a little bit judicious about how you do that instead of sending out emails every week to everyone. Okay, so let's go back to the Content tab. Once again, here we have a link to our online text, And I know several of you have already purchased the online text. I encourage you, you've got to purchase this. You cannot complete the course without it. So get that online textbook as soon as possible. That is, you're buying an access code card, and then you're going to be putting in some information once you first click on this link. After you put that information in, when you click on this link, you're going to be brought right to our online text, which looks like this. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a description of how Connect for Education works. If you happen to be taking another course which is utilizing Connect for Education, and you click on the home button or the dashboard, it's going to bring you to a home page that shows all of the other courses that you're enrolled in that utilize this text, plus any that you may have used in the past. And that's going to kind of mess up things for you if you're trying to get back to this page. So if you, anytime throughout your book, if you want to get back to this point, which is sort of like the table of contents, click on this second link right here, this one here with all the letters and the numbers. It starts with DC 21 and so forth. That will always bring you back right here. Now, the textbook is laid out pretty straightforwardly. You can click on any of these modules and you have an overview. You have these wonderful ethnomusicology. You have active listening. You have timbre and texture and so forth. And I'm going to let you play around with these to your heart's desire. Remember, you have some time to complete these first few classes in this first section. So please take some time and take a look at it. Now I'm going to bounce back to our detailed course calendar for just a second because I want to give us the opportunity to take a look at how the detailed course calendar compares. Notice how I have divided these into sections, not your text. Your text does not say section 1, section 2. Your text has the classes, class 1 through class 4, and your textbook has up to 35 classes. If you click back on our textbook link, notice that's what's here. Not sections, but that's what's here. So whenever you want to know, okay, when is section 1 due, that's when you're going to click back to this detailed course calendar, and that tells you when the sections are due. So for example, you've got to get through class 4 by September 21st. You got to get through class 8 by October 5th. So you got some time. So just, give yourself the luxury of, getting ahead a little bit and utilizing your time wisely. Notice how each class has different sections within it. And this is nothing to be alarmed at. This is just simply reading. And it gives you some wonderful tools. Also, notice how you have these navigation buttons. You have right arrows, left arrow, and up arrow, and you might even have a down arrow depending upon how much info is being displayed. Once again, I say, if you are using a phone or tablet to complete your online work, please don't forget to scroll down to find things because you may miss something very important. If you click on the right arrow, it's just going to advance to the next page. And if you continue clicking on these arrows, you're going to get all the way through the online text. Notice how you have some examples that you can listen to. It says here to click on the listening mode. So that's just simply this little icon right here. And it should give you the option. And of course, just like any other play mode, you can stop, pause, and so forth. So when you click on that, this window will come up. It says here to click the play button below to listen. It's a very short sample. You also have some volume controls when you click on those. You can mute it, you can do whatever you want. So just to show you that you have some tools available to you, with respect to listening as well as experiencing what's going on. It gives you interactive maps that you can see what type of music and what type of region of the world we are considering. So I encourage you, take a look at all of these, and also look at any fun facts, things like that. We will probably be talking about those in our discussion topics as well. Notice here the quiz. If you take a quiz, now I'm able to preview the quiz. Your textbook will probably look a little different than this because you're not the instructor. If you click on the preview the quiz, notice how the quizzes work. They are true, false, or multiple choice, okay? And you have a little window over here that tells you where you are in the quiz, and if you have correct or incorrect answers. For example, it says here, the Northern Caucasus is the area of the Caucasus made up by Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Georgia. And if you were to answer true and you click submit, notice how it said that is incorrect. So notice also here under the questions that you have answered, it will tell you the number of correct and incorrect answers that you have. So I will interject here. Please understand, I do not grade on test scores alone or quiz scores alone. I grade on effort and participation. So I encourage you to do your best, but don't stress out over texts. Please don't stress out over tests or quizzes. These are not things that I'm going to hold your feet to the fire on, but you do need to do the assignments. Okay, I hope this has given you a good overview of our online text. And as I said, always, you can email me with any questions. Okay, so I hope you found that look at our e-learning site and our online text to be helpful and informative. I realize this is a very quick look at things, but you will be getting into it more in depth as we go along. We will be getting into it more in depth as we go along. As always, if you have questions, feel free to email me. If it becomes necessary, we can certainly set up a one-on-one face-to-face meeting in my office on campus at Delta, or we can also set up a Zoom meeting if that's more convenient for you. All I ask is that you email me ahead of time so that we know, when to get this done. Also, just please give it some time. This is a brand new semester. We're only 1 week in, so give it some time. There's always some glitches in the beginning, but they will be worked out. Everything's going to work out just fine. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So I look forward to getting to work with each of you, even if it's only in cyberspace. And I look forward to reading your comments, your discussion topics, and of course, any assignments that we get to do together. So take care, folks, and we'll see you soon.
I'm a sentimental sap, that's all. What's the use of trying not to fall? I have no will, you made your kill, 'cause you took advantage of me. I'm just like an apple on a bough, and you're gonna shake me down somehow. So what's the use? You've cooked my goose, 'cause you took advantage of me. I'm so hot and bothered that I don't know my elbow from my ear. I suffer something awful each time you go. It's much worse when you're near.